Getting my Malu was the most special day of my life, I would say. You know, when little girls would plan for their weddings, I always planned for my Malu. So I always like dreamt of who would be there, doing my siva, what my yellow ear would look like during my Samaga. I always tell people, I say Samoa is the love of my life. I've never known a love like I love Samoa, and I think that my Malu is a manifestation of a physical form of that. Talofa, my name is Brianna, and here are a few tips that I learned while getting my Malu. There's 3 areas you really need to prepare for when you get your Malu. The first thing you have to prepare for is the actual process. So the tatau, there's things you need for that. There's things that you'll need to prepare for your Samaga, which is the ceremony afterwards. And then there's things you would need to prepare for the aftercare. What you'll need to take is an ear, so an ear that you'll wear during the tattooing. You'll also need to take some pillows of your own, and it's also good to take some rubbish bags. So they use the rubbish bags to wrap the pillows. You'll also need to take your own fala. So the fala you take to be guard on is the same fala you'll sleep on. So make sure that the night before you clean your fala well. You also need to take lots of ilis, especially if you're getting guard here in Samoa. It will be really hot and there will be a lot of mosquitoes or flies that may come around. Remind your friends and family that are coming to Kapili and support you. No hats, no sais. They have to wear an ear and they can't stand around the fale. They have to come and sit down. Good to also take some yards of mal or muslin cloth, so that's the really thin white cloth, and what the tattooist would do is cut those pieces up and use that to solo. So they'll have alcohol there, but it's good just to take some muslin just in case. It's always better to be more prepared, and you can always take the stuff back home than showing up and not having what you need and then having to rush around to get it. So the second part you need to prepare for is your Samaga. And what you need to take for this is a yellow ear. You'll be asked to change into a yellow ear for the ceremony. It's good to also take your whangu'u and your lenga. They mix the whangu'u with the lenga, and that's what they use to put on your body during the Samaga ceremony. It's also nice to prepare if you're not used to doing a siva, just keep it in the back of your mind. You could possibly do an ava. Best to be over prepared than under, in my opinion. You also would want to take some ulas. So the ulas will be what they put on you, and then of course the most important thing of all, you'll have to take your payment for your actual tatau. And so when you give the payment to your tufunga, if you have a makai in your family or someone who can speak on behalf of you and your family to give the exchange of gifts, so they gave you the gift of tatau and you give back the gift of how you are paying for your tatau. Most places where you'll get your tatau, there will be showers available. Have like a good Protex or a good antibacterial soap. You need to fulfill your Malu and make sure you're pressing out, they say it's lama, so pressing out all the lama, but it's really your ink and the excess blood that comes out. That, I would say, is the most important part of this process, is the aftercare. It's really important to not just prepare mentally for a Malu, but also physically. Make sure that your body is well rested and that you're taking care of yourself, because it's a big thing for your body to go through. My grandpa used to tell me stories from back in the day of how the lama was made, how the ink was made out of the lama nut. And it was believed that when you're being tattooed with the ink, that you are literally putting Samoa into your blood, that they're literally tapping the land into you. That when you carry your tatau, you're carrying Samoa in your blood and on your skin. He always used to remind me that when you have your tatau, it doesn't belong to you. That when you have your tatau, it will always belong to Samoa, and the ink of the lama will always belong to the land. And so when you die, that's when they put you back into the land, and the lama will finally return to its roots. That was this symbiotic relationship that I learned about, that I always valued, and I always valued the land. My advocacy for the environment and for Samoa and for climate justice is very much part of my Malu journey, because protecting the land for me will also mean protecting my Malu.